All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston Rockets Daily. We're talking Jaylen Green, a little bit of the Houston Rockets. The trade deadline was yesterday, and we talked about it on the show. We're sitting here at 23 and 27, and the Houston Rockets stood pat. They didn't decide to make any type of move, and I mean outside of the Steven Adams deal, but people were pretty shocked. You had Jock Landale, you had Jayshawn Tate, seems like his role on this roster, especially offensively, like mainly only offensively, just didn't really fit the future. And so a lot of people were surprised that the Houston Rockets decided to make zero moves at the trade deadline. For me, it's not that crazy. We have when we combine all of our players, I mean, Steven Adams is included in that. He's making like $12 million this year, $12 million next season. Then he's a unrestricted free agent. But we have Londale. We've got about $40 million. We throw like Jeff Green in there, and we've got about $40 million in cap space. And you use that if you want to acquire and trade for a superstar. What everybody is freaking out about right now is like, oh, we have all of this money, but those guys aren't worth, Steven Adams, Jock Landale, and Jayshawn Tate, and, yada, yada, yada isn't good enough to acquire a superstar. Or it's like, oh, that's only $40 million. Cap is tight, whatever. None of this stuff matters. That's kind of the point, because none of that made sense. None of it's supposed to make sense here. When the Houston Rockets do decide to go for a superstar, which is something that Rafael Stone and the organization has made abundantly clear, they want a superstar. And they want to win, and they want to win as soon as possible. They want to start winning right now. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about contracts. Don't worry about draft picks, because the Rockets have everything they need to do in order to, on paper, trade for a superstar. I don't care if it's Mikal Bridges. I don't care if it's Paul George. I don't care if it's Karl Anthony Towns. I don't care if it's Donovan Mitchell, Zach LaVine. It doesn't matter. We have an abundance of picks. We have abundance of players who are on significant enough contracts to make money work, to match the salary of a superstar. And we have enough youthful talent with potential where if you really want to trade for Mikal Bridges, and you have to give up Jaylen Green, and you have to give up a couple of first-round picks, they have that opportunity. So the whole point that I'm getting at here is, don't worry about the logistics of our salaries. Don't worry about the logistics of our draft picks and, how is this Brooklyn pick going to be valued? How is this pick going to be valued? Oh, asset mismanagement for giving up all these second-round picks for, all these crappy players like Steven Adams, blah, blah, blah. Don't listen to any of that. What the Houston Rockets need to focus on in this last, like, 2.5 months of the regular season, sitting at 23 and 27 as the 12th seed in the Western Conference, is creating a culture like they're doing right now with Ime Udoka, creating a team that you want to come to. That's more important to me than all of these assets and asset mismanagement and, oh, Rafael Stone folded at the deadline. He didn't make any type of moves. What I want Houston to do is create this culture like we are doing right now. And I hate doing it every time I talk about the Houston Rockets on this channel, just like OKC did last season, where they finished like 40 and 42, but they ended up making the 10th seed and being in the play-in, and they won the first game, and then they ended up losing. So I believe it was Minnesota, and Minnesota goes on as the 8th seed. But you have these players like Shea. Like, nobody's sitting here thinking in this upcoming free agency draft class, well, OKC's in the first in the West. Nobody was sitting there last year in free agency thinking, oh, I don't want to go play at OKC, because they have these Sheas, right? Now I have Chet. I had J-Dub. Like, I have all of these intriguing pieces. And so you're going to start to see, even though they haven't made this quote unquote big ass franchise move, they're 35 and 16, and they are half a game out from the first seed. Players are going to flock to Oklahoma, and it's going to come down to Sam Presti determining, are we getting ready or are we getting ready to move on from Giddey? right? Who are we bringing in? How are we going to, trade away all of these draft picks? And that's exactly where you want to be with Houston at the end of this season. Is, oh, damn, dude, like Jabari Smith is a really intriguing player. Alperen Sengun's a really intriguing player. These guys are ready. These guys are ready to win soon. They just need a guy like me, and pretend I'm Paul George. They just need a guy like me to come on in here and help them get over that hump. Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore. And so I want to talk a little bit about Jaylen Green, because this is the first time we've made a video on this channel in God knows how long. Actually, like 2 weeks ago. There's no like point to this video. We're just kind of going off the dome here. This is Let's Talk Rockets. This is the podcast we made for this show. The link's down below. This is the Twitter if you guys want to go check it out. Shameless plug here. But yeah, we're trying to get to we're like a couple of plays away from 500 downloads. So, if you're at the gym, if you're driving to work, driving in your car, road trip, whatever it is, or you're just chilling at home, check out Let's Talk Rockets on Spotify and Apple. So Jaylen Green has 4 games with 30 points or more in the Rockets' last 7 games. So my theory here is becoming, if Jaylen Green continues this splits, right? Jaylen Green in the month of December was not great. 37% from the field, 32% from downtown, just 15 points per game, right? 4.5 rebounds, 3 assists, whatever. That stuff doesn't matter. Jaylen Green had a horrible December, and you had people wanting to trade him for Eric Gordon, and he became available in these trade talks and these trade rumors. And eventually it's found out that the Houston Rockets were down to trade Jaylen Green to acquire a player like Mikal Bridges. But what we've seen from Jaylen Green in those last 7 games that you can see on the screen here, he has 4 games with 30 points or more in the last Rockets 7 games. One of those games that isn't even counted on that, he had 29 points. This dude, there's like a twinkle in his eye. There's like a change to his demeanor. There's a change to the way he's walking. And all roads lead to Rome. I think Jaylen Green continues this ascension up for the second half of the season and fully implements himself as part of the Rockets' future, right? He's a key component to the Rockets' future. Guys, Jaylen Green in his last 5 games, here are his stats. Of course, I don't have it ready to go. 23.4 points, 5 rebounds, 4.4 assists per game, 48.4% from the field, 33.3% from downtown, and just 2.2 turnovers per game. If Jaylen Green continues what he's been doing in these last 7 games, and he does it for the full course of the rest of the season, and he becomes that dude that we all know he is fully capable of doing. We know Jaylen Green deep down. Every Rockets fan knows Jaylen Green deep down can hoop. But what we want to see is him hoop on the Rockets right now, and we want to see him hoop on the Rockets for the foreseeable future. And so if Jaylen Green continues to do what he's done in the last 7 games, the last 4 weeks, that's only going to help Houston trying to either whatever they decide to do, keep him a part of the future, trade him for a guy like Mikal Bridges, which I think is a massive mistake, even though I love Mikal Bridges and I think he would help out the Houston Rockets. But you get what I'm saying. It gives Rafael Stone and it gives our organization flexibility with our personnel, and because we have all this draft assets, we have our core 6 or whatever. This is going to be a big second half of the season. And so my point with all of this is I just want the Houston Rockets to continue to play their young talent like they've been doing. Injuries to Fred really suck, but it's given opportunities to, Thompson and Cam Whitmore, Jaylen Green as well. Continue to just do your thing. Continue to hoop, ball out, because all experience is going to be beneficial for this Houston Rockets team, doing it as a united squad for the duration of the season. I get it, man. Not everybody loves Jock Landale right now. Not everybody loves our Houston Rockets bench. But it is what it is. This is the squad we're going to be running with for the rest of the season. I highly doubt the Rockets make a buyout move or anything like that. And I just want to end well. And even if we finish as the 11th seed, even if we finish as the 12th seed, I hope it's kind of where we're sitting right now, where we're a game out. We want to get ready here, go on a little win streak, reclaim the 10th seed, and just go from there. So I'm excited for the second half of the season. I know it's we haven't even hit the All-Star break, and that was just the end of the trade deadline, but I'm glad to see Jaylen Green back, and I'm glad to see all these Houston Rocket players back in their Rockets jersey, and I'm excited to watch them tonight. So we're bringing videos back. I know this video was all over the place. We're a little bit rusty, but hit that like button, do whatever you got to do. And once again, listen to Let's Talk Rockets on streaming platforms. The link is down below. That's it for today. Let me know your thoughts down below, and we'll catch you on the flip.